I don't think I've ever felt this bad in my life. So hot.
That has to be the worst I've ever felt in my entire life. I'm the heavyweight runner, and did I manage to run 35 miles across the countryside and roads of Northamptonshire when I am woefully ill-equipped to do so as a former strongman at over 100 kilos. Everything seems to want to have gone wrong for this run, but did I make it? Did I become an ultra runner? The event itself was the Shires and Spires Ultra Marathon.
Ready to start? Shires and Spires.
So it was 35 miles across the countryside of Northampton. 20 miles of that was road. No, that's not true at all. I'm just making shit up now. 15 miles of that was road. 20 miles of that was trails, cross country, tractor ruts, styes. Oh my God, the styes.
The style is such a step over a fence.
There were so many. I've only ever run 25 miles. That was Man vs Coast last year. So this was a huge shout into the unknown. I was stepping up from my longest training run was 4 hours and 18 miles. I've actually been more anxious or had more concerns about this run than the wall itself. I think the cutoff has been looming. One thing running on roads or relatively flat paths, but across fields, the hills looks pretty intense. And even my best training runs would have left it quite tight for the day in terms of the cut-off time. So how the event was run, you had all the distances set off. So you start with the 10K, followed by the half, followed by the 3/4, followed by the marathon, followed by the ultra.
Randy.
So not the first time ultra runners here today, so and maybe you can run the camp. I can't take off the big. So okay, so let's go. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Let's go. That is heavy. I brought the water over again. Oh, I didn't stop watch. And Andy just stole my reduced speed joke. I was going to make a comment about how fast I was going, and he's fucked me over. I should have copyrighted it. Okay, so we're just setting off with Shires and Spires. Yeah, I have no idea how this is going to go. It's already getting warm. I may have forgot to start my watch. What else could go wrong? Probably shouldn't ask that.
First probably mile, maybe mile and a half was all downhill. And at this point I was loving life.
So we're going. Just joined the Brampton Valley Way. We're what? Nearly 8 miles in, and I haven't died yet. That's one tick.
I am feeling top of the world. I'm gliding along, effortless, pace feels great, predominantly been downhill, about 17, 18 degrees, and I'm thinking, this ultra lark is easy.
Okay, so we're about 9 miles in. It's going okay at the moment. Down on 46, so currently well ahead of the pace. Obviously, I'm not expecting that fast. Always looking back real time, which is keeping an eye on me, but obviously you've got to find your own rhythm a little bit. But yeah, no. Gorgeous views. Right in the shade, which feels nice. Currently, full of positivity and optimism. Got my hydration bladder, 2 water bottles. They're already running low. I've filled refills once. So just topping up every aid station and we're good. Right, checking soon.
On the way to the next aid station. So we finished out that, got to the second aid station, which had been the marathon's first aid station. So that was at about 12 miles. Still feeling pretty good, and took off from there. At that point, I started to notice that the temperature was starting to rise slightly. Made sure I was topped up in bottles, made sure I was taking my electrolyte tablets, made sure I had my electrolytes in my fluid, doing everything that I knew I needed to do to stay sensible. and stave off any issues with the heat.
Nothing news. So training's not gone great. Got most of the stuff done here, but had some niggles and a lot of things. So not having videos out. I'll try and put something comprehensive together, but this is the Shires and Spires 56k Ultra 2024. Oh.
About 14 miles in, I think, it started to hit me.
The heat making it hard to breathe. 15 miles in, and the last 3 have been awful and slow. Oh, and people choose to do this for fun.
Yeah, I've never in my life come close to feeling anywhere near as bad. I was dizzy, I was overheating. One of my friends had seen me on the tracker, cycled down to meet me at the end of the field, completely on his own, and I turn around to Joy and say, "Oh look, that must be the checkpoint ahead. There's loads of people there." So God knows what was going on inside my head. Joy's chatting away to Jack. I poured water over me, down the back of my neck, from my wrists, cooled down a bit, and started to come to a little bit, recognised Jack, and realised that, yeah, things were taking a significant turn for the worst. So I think it was probably 2-3 miles to the next checkpoint after that. That really gave me a lift. I felt fractionally better for a period. Jogged into the next checkpoint, and bless them, they were fantastic. So this was the halfway mark, about 18 miles. And the ladies on this checkpoint were brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I cannot thank them enough. They had Vimto, which was amazing. She refilled my bottles for me, and they could see that I was struggling, so they got water and they poured it over my hat, poured it over my neck, poured it over my wrist. Yeah, I was in a world of hurt. I was in a really bad way. I said to Joy, "Don't tell them how bad I am. Don't tell them how bad it is. I don't want to get pulled out of the race. If I can't complete it because I can't make it, that's one thing, but I don't want to get stopped."
So just past halfway. Not putting the mic on. I don't think I've ever felt this bad in my life. So hot. Stealing all Joy's water to pour over me. Bless her. But we'll keep pushing on.
I have zero recollection of anything between mile 18 and mile 24. Nothing. Other than the heat just killing me. Every time I tried to run, my temperature, my heart rate would just spike. So I think I was walking at about 170 beats a minute. So I usually run to heart rate at around 140, 170 just walking. And every time I tried to run, dizziness came over me, nausea came over me. 4 hours in from that checkpoint, I couldn't keep anything down pretty much. I chewed on a jelly bean for 14 minutes, and it turns out they don't really dissolve, so I ended up having to spit that out. The only thing I was getting in were the electrolyte drinks and fluid. Got towards the 24-mile aid station, I think it was. Sean and my family were waiting to see me there, so that was wonderful. Sean brought me some ice water that I'd asked her to bring down, and then, bless her, she was dismayed when I proceeded to just pour it over my head and not drink it at all. I don't think she quite understood what I wanted it for. The guys in that aid station, again, absolutely fantastic. Another total random person, no idea who it was, came over with a load of ice and just shoved it down the back of my top. Again, massive lifesaver. I can't even come close to conveying how bad I felt. Not in pain, not struggling, my legs weren't bad, didn't have any discomfort, I just felt awful. Huge pick me up, huge lift seeing my family, honestly. That was probably the turning point for me.
You just don't know when to give up, do you?
Come on, this all day.
We needed to get to the last checkpoint by 4 o'clock, or we were out of the race. I found that when the clouds were out and there was a slight breeze, I could run. The way I survived is I run the flats, walk the hills, run the downhills. But a lot of the flat sections, or the sections that you would deem as flat, I couldn't run. My legs weren't lifting, I was hitting the tractor ruts. I actually smashed my big toe on one of the tractor ruts. Farmers not leaving the trail in, so you're literally going through the corner, or you're running along with your arms in the air, so you're not knocking over the rape and the nettles. That really slowed my average pace down. I was at the checkpoint and seen me at the previous one struggling, gave me a massive cheer as I arrived, with 4 minutes remaining. Leaving that checkpoint, I had nothing left. That next mile, Joy's asking me, "Can you run?" And I'm struggling. So we've got, cut-off was originally 5 p.m. We've got an hour and 4 minutes to do the last 7 miles. If I'm running, like if I'm gunning it, that's too much. I can't make that. so let alone barely able to move. So that next mile was just brutal. The lady behind caught up and she said that she'd been told at the checkpoint that if you made the last checkpoint, they were being more generous with the cut-off time for the total race because of the heat.
Nearly 52k in. This could be the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. We're going to be very tight for the cut-off. Looks like we're not going to make it, but the heat's been annihilating. And apparently they're being generous, so we'll see how that goes. Joy, bless her, watch died, devastated. So I had a nice big drink. Okay, thank you for getting me through.
Apple, do better with your batteries. So let's just set the scene. So Naseby. When you're thinking Battle of Naseby, you're thinking site of historical significance. When they were thinking Battle of Naseby, they were thinking a big hill 2 miles from home.
But instead, must be the heat. Or the water poured on it. But less than a mile to go. And we have hills galore. So, this has been brutal.
I knew Thomas would be waiting for me at the finish line, and I didn't want him to see Daddy hobbling in, walking. So Joy went ahead a little bit towards the end. That gave me the nod to know when I come around that corner, come round running, so that Thomas sees me run all the way in.
Finish line's in sight. Let's jog it in.
Come on, you can do it! Yay! Woohoo! Come on, you can do it! Howleys don't quit. Howleys don't quit. Woo! Amazing! Woo!
Gareth, the former strongman, but strong enough to finish his ultra marathon, so why not make it?
I am an ultra runner. Officially was not cut off and got my medal. I could not be more proud of myself. Genuinely think that is the hardest thing I've ever done in my life, without a shadow of doubt. And now I've got to do it twice, back to back. Hopefully I've conveyed some of the emotion that I was feeling. I don't think I've really fully processed it. I do have to figure out how to turn 35 miles, which was the hardest experience of my entire life, into 70 miles. Those of you who think I'm absolutely mental for trying to run all the way across the country in one day and want to support, I'm running the wall for Hearing Dogs for Deaf People, which is a phenomenal cause that provides assistant dogs for people who are hearing impaired or have got issues or hearing loss, and it doesn't get the recognition that some of the big charities do. So again, link will be in the description below. Feel free to donate if you can, if not, share. But thank you for watching, I really appreciate it. Like, comment, subscribe and share the video. I get to the end of the race. I have run for 9 hours and 15 minutes nearly. I am exhausted and tired and emotionally charged, and my watch does not read 56 kilometers. My watch reads. Guess what I had to do?
Apparently, we're not done.
Off you go, 50 metres. Round the car park, see you later. Have fun. Woo!
Brilliant work, awesome.